Hey, it's Jen from ScanNCut Jam Sessions and ScanNCut Canvas and SCAL Help. This is part 2 of using the thread method. And actually, you know what? In SCAL, you really don't need to worry about that grid method. If you use the layers on the pages, because as I cut this one apart, using the knife tool and using the page to put it right back onto, you see it cuts perfectly. There's the line. So really all you need to do is cut it with your knife tool, separate it, send it to the page, to the next page or whatever page you have it on, move it around so that it's safely within your mat. And then when you cut it, it's going to lie perfectly, okay? And then the only thing you need to be able to do is position it on your carrier sheet or your transfer paper. And once again, I use the low-tax stuff I get from Stalls Clearance, and I go Stalls Clearance on eBay, and I get it by the rolls. Here's the letters, so I'm going to go about assembling this, and I'm going to set the camera up for that. Okay, so let's get into assemble this. When they're pieces like this, try to get that to stay down there. Take a little piece of tape and stick down, and then adhere the one side to it so that these little things aren't just floating around. Okay. That looks pretty darn good. Put a little tag there. Okay. Alright. So I'm going to grab my transfer paper. Goodness, it's been used a couple thousand times. Try not to let it prematurely stick. You know what? I think I want to put my words on first. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Put my words on it first. But I don't know where I want it. Let me figure out where I'm going to stick my words and I'll come right back. Okay, I went ahead and got it stuck on here. Now I need to figure out where I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to make sure it's centered and level and all that good stuff. We'll start it about right there. All right. And I accidentally just went and pushed it right down onto my mat over here. Gosh darn it. This is supposed to be non-stick. So I'll spend the next 10 minutes pulling it off of my mat. I'll be back. Okay, we got her fixed. Got her up off of the mat. Thank goodness it was that non-stick stuff. Well, let's go about putting it back on here. Make sure it's even. I think I would probably get more tutorials done on how to fix all my goof ups. I make a lot of them. Well, such is life. Always making boo-boos. Okay, there's that one. Make sure it's straight, because my luck it's crooked. Nope, that looks good so far. But that's why I like creating stuff. Because any boo-boo you make, it's not really a boo-boo, it's your artistic impression. It makes you different. And different is always good. Okay. So I have the whole thing on, and now it is ready. Oh, hang on. It is all ready to go down and be applied. Alright? Okay, so now it's time to put the vinyl on the truck. So I've cleaned the windows, and there's still a little bit of residue on there from the last one that I put on and I forgot about, and it baked on with the sun, so I forgot about it and it ruined it. So all the vinyl kind of melted with the plastic. Can you hold that? Okay. So, and of course it's a super windy day, which I don't ever recommend putting vinyl or decals on a super windy day, because you run the risk of them prematurely adhering. Okay, so let's see. Does that look even taut? Stand back. Oh, I'm getting blinded. I don't even...
No.
What, like that?
Yeah.
Like that?
Don't you think?
I don't know. It's just my truck, so I don't care.
Oh, tilt it this way more. Like down. Just
like that?
Yep, right there.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. And you can do the wet method, which is where you put it on with water and you float it on there. Start by sticking that down right there. And work your way over, and remember, I don't use sharp pokey objects because it can actually stretch the vinyl. Stay tough. You want to grab and kind of pull it. No, I got it. Never mind. Think so.
Yep.
So I'm kind of pulling the paper out as I smooth it across. That daggone wind is going to get me. Just keep smoothing as you go. So I kind of pull the paper off like I pull my tape off at a hard angle, like a complete angle back against itself.
Mom.
Keep pulling. this body down because I don't want it to wrinkle. There we go. Body's down. Get the wings. Kind of have sun blindness for the next 10 days. Oh my God, the sun is bright. Thank you. And go over it, make sure everything's down. And there's the seam, and you cannot see it. So once again, I guess if you use SCAL, you really don't need the grid method. Because once you transfer it to the page, and again, when you pull this off, pull it right back onto itself, and that will release. That will release your sticker onto the window beautifully. There you go. All these bubbles, I'm going to give it a day in the sun to see if they'll work themselves out. If not, you can go in with a little needle, or you can come in with your little scraper tool and try to work them to the edges if it needs to be bubble free. But if you do the wet method, that is what really keeps these bubbles from getting in here. With the wet method, you normally will not have any bubbles behind it because the wet method allows it to float a little bit on there. And allows you the ability to work those bubbles out as it floats. But for me, I really don't care. It's my treasure. It's got bubbles. It's got bubbles. Alright guys, thanks a lot.